Super. All right, well, good morning again to the April version of the VTCT Collective Hair and Barbering online session. For those of you who have not been with us before, I am Nicola Steinbach and I am the Key Account Manager for Scotland and Northern Ireland, and I lead the Hairdressing Collective programme. As always, we have a packed agenda for you this morning with our two guests who I know are eager to share lots of new and interesting, exciting things with you all. The collective online is your community, so please feel free to ask any questions of our guests or of myself as we go throughout it. Your feedback is really important to us. So what do we have planned for you today? So two guest speakers, as I say. We have, first of all, somebody that I have had great pleasure of working with in the past. We are joined by Kerry Galliano, who is representing Ergo Styling Tools. She is one of their UK brand ambassadors. So we'll hear a lot from Kerry this morning and all about Ergo Tools. And I am also joined by the wonderful partner of ours, Janet Coates from Pivot Point Lab. And Janet has a fantastic update and CPD video for you all on textured hair for barbering today. We also, as always, have a packed agenda event. So I'm going to be giving you an insight into some of the new events that we have coming up, both VTCT and also with some of our industry partners as well. And then also we have our next meeting, which will be in May. So first up, we have joining us today, Kerry Galliano, and I am going to let Kerry talk and introduce herself correctly in a moment because she can explain herself way better than I can. But I have had the pleasure of working with Kerry on a few times now because Kerry has been a guest artist on our face-to-face collective program last year, and fabulous educator, full of enthusiasm, passion and knowledge for this industry. And it's great to see that Kerry is now working with Ergo Styling Tools and as their UK ambassador. And I have had the pleasure of also meeting John Tate and Janie from Ergo Styling Tools, and what a fabulous brand it is. So I'm excited to hear all about what Kerry is going to be showing you all today, because Kerry is doing a demonstration for us and also talking a little bit more about Ergo Styling Tools. So Kerry, good morning, my lovely. How are you today?
Good morning, Nicola and everyone. I'm super excited to be here with you, Nicola. I always love coming to the collective. And working with you guys at VTCT. It's amazing. And thanks for all those lovely words as well.
Oh, thank you. You're welcome. I mean, every one of them. Kerry, just tell us a little bit, just give us a little brief background about yourself and also your role now with Ergo Styling Tools.
Yeah, so I'm Kerry Galliano. I have worked previously. I've owned my own business for 12 years in a salon. I've worked for high street hair salons, big named companies, and now I'm a freelancer. So I've covered all sectors of the industry. I've also been on different art teams, and been involved in education throughout my career, really, whether it's been training an assistant in my own salon to other people, or working down in L'Oreal Technical Centre and in art teams under the leadership of people like Andrew Barton, and just gaining experience and knowledge throughout my career. Loving every minute, Nicola. Loving every minute of it. I'm based in Bedfordshire to create a freelance collective space, which is a perfect combination of having people around you, but also being a freelancer and continuing educating others as well.
Super, thank you. And tell us a little bit about your role at Ergo.
Yeah, so there's a team of us, which they are all superb, absolutely superb team, superb energy, fantastic, talented people. So we all group together and work together for Ergo. And I'm one of them, and I share the love and the need for Ergo. Really, we really want to like sort of share the knowledge of Ergo and allow everybody to consider that choice of equipment and just be knowledgeable about it and the reasons why. So I'm on that real passionate journey with Jonty and Janie to improve, prevent, and help people with already existing problems of injuries and arthritis and problems like that, tendonitis, carpal tunnel. And, so we want to also offer that education to people that are starting out, obviously, because prevention's better than cure, right?
Absolutely. I think that's a really valid point. And our audience on the collective is made up of predominantly college lecturers and staff. So if you're watching this recording back, this is something that would be really useful to share with students as well, isn't it? So you're going to be demonstrating a technique, but this is also something about the ethos behind great ergonomics as well.
Yeah.
So I know you've got a few slides here before we go into the demo. So let me just run through. So let's start here. Can you see that okay, Kerry? Yeah.
And I probably know it all really well. This is all the benefits and all the things that you'll need to know about Ergo when starting out. And it gives us all the benefits and the reasons why to consider them as a brush of choice to use in the salons and with your colleagues and everything. So there's plenty of information on this sheet, and I will talk about some of it while I'm demoing, as well as obviously pick up on some of these points now. So basically what we do is we make sure that everyone knows what the brushes are about. And when you literally receive your brush, you get a product knowledge sheet so that you can really go over it. But also along with that, we can support and give more further information, because we're so welcoming to people to come and ask us questions through our website, through Instagram. It's really relaxed, and we can inform everyone on all of these benefits and the reasons why as well. But to go through them, we have what the brushes are all about. So it's obviously the word ergo is about ergonomics. There's two ranges, and one is the classic range and one is the super gentle range. Now I get really excited about the super gentle range because it's something that's not really, I don't think that's really out there at all. And the super gentle range, it gives me really comfortable usage on people with finer hair, sensitive scalps, really highly coloured, bleached hair, really sensitive hair. So it's a really great range, especially if you're dealing with clients that are going through the menopause. And, so for me, that's a great choice of brush to use because of those reasons. So there's 7 brushes in the classic range and 6 in the super gentle range. So like the facts of these brushes, there's so many to tell you about in such a short time, Nicola, but I do know we're returning back to you at the end of the month as well. So basically, you've got a longer barrel, which means it's 20% longer, and which means I can cover work surface further. So imagine if you're using, say, do you remember the short foils? And now we've all gone to wider foils, so we can get a bit more colour into the packets. Exactly the same with this brush. So like it covers more surface, so I can go into a wider section, but I can still sit it on its own base and set the hair. And then there's snag free, because basically that's all internal, so you can't catch the hair on the ends. It's got these wonderful bristles in the technology. It's absolutely incredible. So on the barrel itself, we've got a double coated ceramic, and then we've got basically that gives us even distribution of heat. Yeah. Now the bristles are self-healing bristles, and what that means is that, you know, after you've used them, after a blow dry, and you can see your bristles starting to change shape. If you add a little bit of heat onto these, they'll reset themselves. Such a clever technology in that. And my favourite can't go back to other brushes. The reason why is because of the handle. So the handle's got this fantastic grip, yeah. So it makes my life easier to use and turn, and I'm not holding on tightly because I've got so much grip, even if I've got wet or product on my hands. I'll tell you what it feels like to go. I picked up another brush the other day to use it. Now I've got used to these, and it felt like I were eating a Sunday roast with plastic knives and forks. Do you know what I mean? Like I just that's how I imagine. I couldn't eat, you know. So like literally, I'm thinking, oh my god, I've got so much comfort from this that I cannot now go back to gripping so tightly. It's got tourmaline is one of the best things about this as well. So tourmaline is a green crystal, and it creates negative ions, and so that obviously in turn, along with the hair material, increases the shine, and that's all in the bristles as well. So this, you know, the benefits are superb from using the brush, and I'll talk about more as we go through the demo, so that obviously I can give you a bit more as we're going through with the set, lock and lift technique as well. Yeah, so there's so many other features. We've also got a paddle brush in the range, which I'll show and brush through later. But what I love about this is the fact that if you look down the paddle itself, you can see straight down. But if you go in that way, they're all aligned in a completely different formation, so that you can use the paddle in a vertical way to brush through the hair and get the knots out really easily without any pulling, tagging, and tugging about it. And obviously with them being in a different direction, it means that when you're using a wrap dry technique, it's going to give you a bit more tension, but also as well smoothness through the hair. There's holes in here, which is brilliant for cleanliness and hygiene. And when you're cleaning your brushes, inside here, there's two holes, and the water will run through, go through the back. And if you just stand it like that, the backwash, it'll drain throughout. So you're not going to get any mold or build up inside the paddle. So I've got a nice clean brush that I can work with throughout the working with and for my clients. So yeah, they're generally flowing through the benefits really quickly. There's many more, as I say. So it's super exciting that we can have tools like this to use, and also as well use that preventative measure also against our bodies as well. So we are going to talk about a bit more about the ergonomics side of things in the next collective session, because there's so much to talk about. So yeah, please join us for that, because it's really exciting. It's super important to, I think, be really aware, especially if you're enjoying your career. Like me, I've got into my 50s and I love my career. I don't want to stop. I don't want to retire. You know, I want to have, you know, longevity in working. So by me, especially at my age, choosing something like this to use, I feel that I'm going to get obviously lack of strain and any tension. I'm lucky enough that I've not got any of the signs of arthritis or anything like that just yet. So, you know, but it's really important. I'm finding that any choices that I make throughout, whether it be colour or anything that I'm choosing to use, I'm thinking about sustainability and ergonomics for myself, you know. And I think we never had that before, really, did we? That choice.
Yeah, I think you're future proofing your career by making sure you're making lots of the right choices.
Yeah,
Um, I unintentionally moved the slides along, and I've now come on to the lift, lock, and set slide, which I know kind of links to the demonstration that you're
yeah,
going to be doing. I think just even just the philosophy behind coming up with, you know, as a brand, it's more than just a brush set, isn't it? Because there's
yeah,
the ethos obviously behind it, the intention, the product technology, and the ergonomics, all of those aspects of it, which I know we'll take a deeper dive into as we move on to the next collective as well. But I think having techniques is what really excited me about this. I think this is something that I think that our community online are always keen to see new ideas, techniques, or things that they can take back to their teaching environments for their students. So do you want to just kind of talk a little bit about this, and then I'll stop sharing the screen so that we can see your demonstration?
yeah, sure. We've got three techniques, two of which, sorry, you can see a couple of classes. I know Janet's on later, and you can go into lab as well to see a couple of the classes in there. But there's three techniques. One is the wrap dry. Um, I'm going to show you the volume one, which is lift, lock, and set. And then there is a vertical technique too. Now, all these techniques combined, you know, they're really about fundamental skills of where you should be starting with your career. Or if you kind of struggle with it, go back and readdress it, because that is what's going to take you further. I always think that if you've got the fundamentals down, you can then be creative. You know, it's like if I want to go over anything, I'll go and choose my ABC video soon cutting video, get it out back out. I spent a fortune on it years ago, and then I revisit classic cutting. And then that, with the creative thinking, you can really nail and hone in on your skill set. And if you're thinking to get a bridal business, you know, go to session work, or just have a bloody good business behind the chair, fundamentals is where it's at. And if you can make that easier, because you're going to be doing that every day, these techniques combined with considered choices, you know, are perfect, because you can fly through your business without working too hard. So, you know, it's a bit like going to your favorite color combination. These techniques, you can go to that combination and they deliver every time if you're doing them properly. So you're not have to thinking, oh my God, will this work? You know.
Yeah, I think last month on the online collective, we talked about the results from the VTCT skills survey, and we talked about the skills that people wished that they had developed more. And I think that never losing sight of the fundamentals is something that kind of echoes through everything that we do. You learn from the basic to the complex in this sector, don't you? So you kind of need to understand and get your basics, your fundamentals right before you move on to the creatives. And I think that styling linked in with consultation and communication is a massive area that is something that we certainly see a lot of focus on. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing the screen so that we can highlight on you, and let's move into our demo.
Amazing. So I have started the back here already, because I did want to show you some already dried sections, because we recommend that you leave them for 20 minutes to set. Yeah. So the back ones are all in. And basically we've got the front ones to do. But what I will do is, Nicola, is afterward, because I won't be able to show the full thing, I'll make a video of it, give it to you so you can post ahead and the finished result in photograph, yeah. But I will be able to show you the sections of how they are formed at the back as a result as well.
Super. Can you just turn it around so we can see the back a second? And shout out to this is Louise, if anyone saw Kerry's reel yesterday. This is Pivot Point Louise, isn't it? Which I know we'll hear
Yeah,
from Janet later, but
she's beautiful. I know she's got some discount on her at the minute, but I do love Pivot Point mannequins as well. So you can see that, like, basically within this back, and Louise is like, her length of hair is past shoulder. So I thought, let me show something like that, because obviously that's pretty much what we're doing a lot of, and also as well. You think, oh, that's where you get tangled up with your brush, you know. So it's two sections basically, and literally split into four. I've got my little creaseless clips, just hanging them in there just now. But basically, it's pin curling it up. You can see that, like, literally, because of the width of the brush, I've been able to get four sections in here, four sections in there, and that's done. The back is done, yeah, on that below shoulder length. So that's super, for me, commercial as well, you know. So on the front here now, we've got this left to do. So I thought I'll show you the back later. So right, I'm going to go ahead, shall I, with the...
Yeah, go for it.
I'm going to put the dryer on a lower speed so that obviously you can hear me a bit better, and just give me a shout out if you can't, yeah?
No problem. And if anyone has any questions on what Kerry is doing, just feel free to pop them in the chat.
Absolutely. So as I say, we will be finishing this off the finished look later, but I just thought I'll show you. So what we want her to be is 70% dry, and use a wrap drying technique to get that wet out of there. Yeah. So this is it's a pretty classic, it's a classic fundamental way to blow dry hair. And
are the brushes quite light?
Yeah, they are. They're super light, but they look big, don't they?
Yeah, I just wondered what the weight of them was, I guess, that making them quite, so that the head length is longer, isn't it? Or is it just the angle? Yeah.
I don't think I have, which I should have brought in another brush to compare, but 20% longer. Your brush head, your normal brushes stop about there.
Yeah, you can really see that. Yeah, super. Anyway, I'll let you carry on. I'll stop talking to you. We'll be here till Tuesday, next Tuesday.
So basically, so we pre-groom the hair first. Yeah. Always pre-groom the hair so you get all the hairs going in the same direction. You've got a nice clean section to start. And then you're going to sit it and set it on its own base. So it's got its own space. Turn the hair tails around. Can you see that all right? Turn the hair tails around and let them just rest over the back of the brush. Then you're just going to tighten in to the base itself. So that's set on its own space, and we want that, but we want to see the space as well. So I'm just going to turn the dryer on.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not too bad.
No, it's okay. Just go for it.
See that as well.
Yeah, we can see it. Don't worry. You can talk after if you just.
So all I'm doing is I'm resting the hairdryer, not touching the bristles, but I'm drying off the roots first. But can you see I'm not waxing or moving the dryer? I'm not doing that. I just literally I'm drying the hair at the root on its own base, and then just hovering past the bristles. I'm not touching the bristles, and we dry the roots first. Then we're going to let those tail ends pull through and lift. So this is the step. So that's the second into the space it needs to be. The ends are locking it into place. And then the dryer is going into the root and drying that first. Then basically we're going to lift. And then can you see the tail ends just lift through? So we're not getting any knots in there. So don't worry about getting tangled.
and then feed it back down to sit on its own base. And I'm just using the dryer. The dryer's not going anywhere, or my arms are not going above my shoulders up here. Yeah, I'm literally within my own space here. I'm quite in. I'm not doing any of these shenanigans. So we're literally, quietly, easily, without energy, literally sitting it on its own base there and drying through that room. Then we're going to lift it and just dry through as we're going. Then when we get here, you can use the little finger, to hook in, zoom it, but also check that it's dry. If it's not dry, it goes back in at something, set it, lock it, and start again. So you're going in through the base and then lifting up the hair. And cleanly, you can see that Louise is quite lengthy, but I'm not getting any tangles. And it's not going anywhere, the hair is super controlled without working hard. And that's the key really to it. So because the bristles help me, they help me create the shine too. We're working together. Tourmaline's working with me because that's obviously giving me the ions that I need to stop any static, create the shine. And the barrel, because it's evenly heated, I don't have to worry about even distribution either. And literally, you hover past and you see the bristles like that. Lift it. Get that it's dry. Use the pinky. And I'm using the brush to self-clean it and pre-brush it before I put it back in. Now, this is the fun part. When it's dry, if anybody doesn't use their cool button, use it now. So I'm pressing that cool button. Turn my dryer off.
So that cool button is already starting to cool it down. As we know, with the bonds of the temporary bonds, we're wanting to go from wet to dry and set. So we're going to gently take out the brush, glide it out, and then we're going to groom with our hands, pop it through the fingers, let that follow through, pinch it together, and then clip it with your creaseless clips underneath. And that's not been worked hard, has it? You can see.
No, I think a couple of observations is the fact, and I think Janie's put something in the chat about not touching the hair. I think that not touching the, you do see a lot of, and this is no criticism, this is just something that I've observed across all my years of doing hairdressing, that people have the nozzle as close to the barrel of the brush as possible, but you're not touching it at all, are you? So you're allowing the brush to do the work for you rather than the dryer. Is that a way of explaining it? And I think Janie called it in the chat, I can't see the chat now, the truck and trailer method.
Yeah. The truck and trailer method.
Truck and trailer. So Janie has said that it is designed in conjunction with micro hand surgeons to make the brushes lightweight and balanced. That was coming to my question about the weight of the brushes. And the truck and trailer method, we never touch the brushes or the hair with the hair dryer. So I think I know I have Maureen Evo from Cloud9 on this call, massive, massive advocate of healthy heat styling of hair. So I know that this will be music to your ears as well, seeing this kind of approach to it as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, when you think about how many like movements our hands are making, that brush is super light, and because it's been designed, like Janie's pointed, the micro hand surgeons as well. You know, they know every little movement that we've been making. They've been studying it and researching it. So the handle, like even placed in the hand, is it's the fit of the handle there stops me from working so hard. But all the movements that I'm making, because it's been designed by the hand surgeons, they know every little movement and flick of muscle that our hands are making, don't they?
Yeah, and something that we spoke about when myself, you, and Janie and Jonty met is I always associate ergonomics with scissors. We talk a lot about making sure that we get the right scissors for our hands and that we're using them correctly and thinking about all of the, you know, the importance of that. But actually, this is all the tools that you use are as important to maintaining the lifespan of your career, isn't it? With your hands and your arms and your posture and holding and the repetitive strain aspect as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, when Robert Reed was actually founded Ergo by he was in insurance, and he kept saying, seeing all these hairdressers come forward to claim on insurance because he's American, and Ergo's been going 31 years over there, and so he researched, you know, delved and opened this Pandora's box of hairdressing, and literally studied it and understood why that hairdressers were going and claiming insurance, and of course. Even for Janie and Jonty, they had an amazing successful business in America, and they lost two of their stylists that were bringing in so much into the business, into the salon, that they lost them within 18 months for carpal tunnel. I think one was carpal tunnel, another one was arthritis, and they were only in their 30s. And so that really has got alarm bells all over it, hasn't it? And it's not, obviously, different people will approach it in different ways, but considering, like Marie, teaching about the heat, and tools that we can use to make ourselves work easier, then it's got to be holistic, hasn't it? And it's got to be more sustainable for us as a person.
Yeah. What I'll do is, Janie just put a really interesting fact here. We use a brush on average 15 hours a week, 60 hours a month. So it is important to choose tools. So that is, when you think about it like that. What I'm going to let you do is, don't worry about trying to talk over this one, because we can visually see it and we've got the handout. So I'll let you do a couple of sections just without talking, so you can use your dryer. Okay.
Brilliant. I'll crack on then, Nicola.
Yeah, we can just sit back and watch for a second.
Yeah, and because Janie's here in the meeting and Jonty, obviously, if there's any questions going into the chat, they can really answer anything that you've got question-wise whilst I'm doing the demonstration, yeah?
Yeah, I'll let you carry on. We will all watch in admiration. Something I've noticed while Kerry is doing that, can you notice that even the section underneath, sometimes when you're doing sections building on top of each other, the brush catches the hair underneath and starts to lift. It's actually very, very smooth. You can see how fluidly it's running through the hair. And how well behaved the client is, Janet. I'll just give you the facts here from Janie while we're talking. 20% longer barrel means 20% quicker blow dries. Debbie's asked if we can make the screen bigger. We can't make the screen bigger because it's on the phone, but perhaps if you could move, Kerry, if you can hear me still, if you can just turn round slightly.
Yeah, sure.
Just so that we can, I'll see if we can get another angle. It's because we're doing it on a phone.
I'm going to turn around now anyway.
Okay, bring her to the closer to you, to the, I'm rubbish at left and right here.
Better?
I can see it really well, but I'm not sure about how everyone else can see that.
Guys.
Yeah, yeah. There is a handout, Debbie, as well that's coming with this, so that you will be able to follow the technique through on that. And then I think that if I think Kerry mentioned that for a follow-up from this, that oh, the screen is on me. If I stop talking.
I think it's when you speak, Nicola, you come onto screen, and then when Kerry speaks, Kerry comes onto screen.
Right. I'll stop talking. I'll mute.
The thing as well, Nicola, people are more than welcome to get in touch with us. You know. Okay, so what I can do now, because obviously I think we're coming to the end of the time with the demonstration, aren't we?
Yeah, you've got a few minutes, but yeah, just conscious that we want people to see what the results are looking like.
I'm thinking, obviously, the front now. You've seen the technique of how we do that and set it in. So we lock, lift, and set, or set, lock, and lift, I should say. And then basically now these have been in here a good few minutes now, so we can take that out and show you the result of this, yeah. And then later on, I'll finish all the rest of it and show you the full blown blow dry results. So we recommending that you leave it for 20 minutes. Now that might sound like a long time in a commercial environment, but if you leave that in and think about what I do is I'll take my lady's bill, I'll make her a cup of tea, I'll do all the things, make her next appointment, talk about any product knowledge that she needs to have and any home care. So obviously by the time that, well, actually, to be honest, she'd probably be waiting longer than 20 minutes for me to finish talking. But, literally that 20 minutes will fly by, and then you can show her the reasons why that you've left her for so long. And then she'll invest that 20 minutes to sit there, especially when she's gone home and that blow dry is not moving. She will be back to you every time for that. So I'm just going to unpin these creaseless pins. Just take these out. But you can see the length of, can you see that length all right? You can see the length of what Louise is, so you've got a nice bounce there, look. These creaseless grips, we have, well, hopefully we'll get some of the ergo ones which are gorgeous. But I left my session kit and all my creaseless pins were in a bag, just on the last job I've just done. And so I made some more. And basically with these, this is a little quick top tip. I just got some normal pins and put some foam on there. Yeah, so they're quite easy to manage. If you're wondering why, I've not seen them ones before. So
Innovative.
It's like, oh my God, I need them. So I'm just releasing all the pins. We're still.
So just thinking about the commercial time that you were talking about there, something that I'm thinking about for the teachers who are obviously teaching students within this, the time that they would take to do the blow dry will be efficient as well, won't it? And then this setting time is kind of, they would wrap that up as part of the overall service as well.
Covering more space in a shorter time for this length of hair, so you can invest that time. As I say, you can do other things whilst it's drying. You can finish off your appointment. So I don't know about you, but some of my clients stay at reception for 10 minutes after they've had their hair done anyway. So, for me, I would start the chat there where I know I'm going to be chatting with them anyway. So you can see through there what a beautiful kind of set that you've got a set with a blow dry, and that's going to give you the volume. You can use this technique for volume and curl and define the curl, or give yourself an on-trend baby doll blow dry. An on-trend blow dry is fundamentally this. So you can use your hands to just bring it through. I'm going to try and do it right. Got one left in there. Didn't realise. There's always one escapee. And just
you can really see the volume.
The volume's unbelievable, isn't it? Like, it's changed Louise to that direction. You can see the lift, and that's going to absolutely last for that lasts as long as she next shampoos her hair. So, absolutely amazing lift. So you can use your hands like this and just break it through, or you can take our paddle if you want a softer look, which is the ergo paddle, and just give her a nice brush through. And there's plenty of lift in there.
Gorgeous.
So making life easy, and getting that amount of volume in that length of hair. Yeah, because she's like sort of not got too many layers as this Louise. So, you know, literally, and if you're pre-setting for wedding hair or pinning hair up like that, it look absolutely stunning.
Beautiful. Thank you. And then afterwards, you'll finish the rest of it off and we'll have a little video that we can share with people. I'll send it out afterwards with the recording as well. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Now, Leanne really helpfully told me how to do this with the screen. I'm going to try and go back to my slides. So Leanne, I hope you're on hand to help me with some more handy tips on how to make sure I'm showing the right screen. So we're back to sharing my screen, aren't we? Is that what everyone can see?
Yeah,
super.
correct.
So there's just one final slide. So everybody will get all this information sent out, but there is a final slide because Ergo have done a QR code for a special offer for VTCT skills. Again, I will be sending this out afterwards. So for those of you that are watching the recording, you will be able to still be able to use this QR code as well. I am going to send out, this is my error, I have approved this with incorrect logo on it. So I'm going to send this back over and we'll have the correct VTCT logo on it, but the QR code will work. So thank you very much to Ergo Styling Tools for this offer. And thank you to you, Kerry. And I know we'll be seeing you next month for some more styling and Ergo Styling Tools magic. So thank you, Kerry.
Thank you very much, Nicola, for having me.
Thank you. Okay, so next guest speaker is the one and only very wonderful Janet Coates from Pivot Point. If you are a regular on our community or are familiar with VTCT skills overall, you will know and be familiar with Janet and the fabulous work that she does with Pivot Point Lab. Janet has been on tour with us on the Collective Live, talking all things Pivot Point before, and is also a regular on this online monthly community. So why did I ask Janet to join us this month? Well, I'm a big fan of Pivot Point, and particularly some of the new content that I know Janet has worked with some amazing people to develop. And last month we had Stacey Stiles from Fact, and she was talking about textured hair. And again, going back to the survey, we spoke a lot about the skills that people wished that they had learned more of, and textured hair was one of them. And I was just having a look through Pivot Point and I saw that there is a huge amount of textured hair resources, and particularly in barbering. So over the last few months, I certainly have been on traveling the length and the breadth of the country and judging competitions for both the AHT and for Concept Hair Learner of the Year, and started to see a rise in textured hair categories. And we also on the Collective Live have had a huge request consistently for textured hair and barbering. So I reached out to our fellow colleague here, Janet, to see what Pivot Point were doing exactly with textured hair barbering. So Janet, over to you. I'm going to stop sharing my screen.
Thank you, Nicola. Thanks for inviting me. Thank you, Kerry. Known Kerry through collaborations with VTCT as well. So we've been doing a lot of connecting and collaborating out with people to increase and improve the content that we have in lab. Kerry introduced you to Louise, one of our textured hair mannequins. Not everybody realizes that we do mannequins as well, and we have a whole textured hair family So that was where part of our link was last time, wasn't it, Nicola? Nicola has got a handout that she'll be sharing with you to tell you about discounts on our mannequins and offers about the whole family, as well as our connections with Ergo Tools. And Ergo Tools also have content in lab, and we're looking to do an event again. All that information, your body is your business, sustainable careers, education, as well as the sustainability of our bodies and tools, etc. to help. So lots of information coming on a handout. But right now I'm going to share my screen with you and take you into lab.
Janet, one of the things that I has really been fascinating with me about Pivot Point is how much you do collaborate with industry brands, very similar ethos to what we do in the collective. We see each other at all the same events because you are there, you know, at the forefront of the industry as well. So I think it's that's one of the things that why I tapped into this. Now, even though I'm talking, can we all see Janet's screen as the main screen?
Yeah.
Super. I'll shut up now. Janet, over to you.
Just before I dip into the textured hair, I will tell you, linking to what Nicola just said, we have a tab in Lab. So if you're not familiar with Lab, we have a page that we call Connections. And this is about our collaborations with people from industry to help you as educators and your learners connect now to support them on their program, as well as future connections too. So you'll see we've got the concept guys here, the Linda mindset, talking sustainability. We have the Green Beauty community, which is all about a sustainable guide, hair journal, modern barber, a little bit about us because not everybody knows us beyond our lab. So a little bit about us. Platform, we do a lot of work with Platform, bringing our education out there and to the platform. Stylebook education, freelance. We've got the lovely Janie's Independent Beauty magazine link, as well as Hair Council, neurodivergent barber, and well skills. So just some of the little things, and these are continued people that we connect with and bringing you and your learners links to via our connections.
I think we need a VTCT Skills Collective connections badge on there, please.
Absolutely, Nicola. And just another little quickie, following on from Kerry, we have a topic called additional resources, and Kerry did mention that we have 2 pages in here with Ergo. So we've got Ergo Tools care videos in here, and we have a range of the Ergo videos, including the lock and lift and many more from the Ergo family. I am a user of Ergo Tools, and Pivot Point are a big supporter of the Ergo Tool brush family. Just going back to my home page, because from our rotating banner, I'm just going to quickly show you our latest trend collection, which you have access to as a lab user, and these are 4 looks from our latest trend collection, and you have the cutting and styling videos for each of these. But right now, if you're new to lab, from the Learn tab, this is where you as an educator can set up classes and assign content to your learners in what we call learning paths. And a learning path is simply a sequence of lessons. And what I've done for you today is put together a collective class. Again, if you're not new to lab, you've got a new tool which allows you to put in your own class images now. But from here, we're going to see a learning path of our curls and coils lessons. So hopefully you can see the screen.
I just made you fresh.
These dark grey lines are what we call groupings, and we pre-build learning paths in groupings to help make your personalising easier. But we have a textured hair theory lesson, and I will come back to that time allowing. We've then got a workshop, so anywhere that you see workshops when you're in lab, these are videos. And here we've got a video on cleansing, hydrating and moisturizing textured hair. So those of you that are not familiar with that process, it is very different to cleansing and conditioning, straight or just simply wavy hair. We've then got a range of videos. And if I just scroll down, these are female videos. We've got a range of men's videos, and we're going to take a look at one shortly. Styling videos for textured hair, both males and females, and then some colour videos. But the one that we're going to show you today is from Barbering. It's the uniform layered form, and this is by international educator and UK educator Chris Foster. This video is about 6 minutes, so I'm going to stop talking now and hopefully you can hear.
Freehand cutting is a totally different way to shape hair. It has more similarities to sculpting than other more common cutting methods. You're often working on dry hair, and you carve away with your cutting tools to reveal the new style. It'll take time to train your eye to see where to leave hair and where to take more off. In this workshop, you'll create a rounded shape by freehand cutting using your clippers and refining shears. It's crucial to manage curly textured hair to get even results.
Sorry, I'm just trying to get rid of
In the end, we'll have uniform hair lengths. Here you can see how you'll cut in 4 zones. Follow this pattern and sequence for greatest accuracy. Zone 1 is the center of the head from the front hairline to the occipital area. Zone 2 is the nape area. Zones 3 and 4 are the 2 side areas. Take stock of the hair density, thickness, and curl texture to decide what length to cut to get that rounded shape. Pick the hair thoroughly from base to ends using a scooping motion. Work through the entire head, continue picking the hair until all the lengths are fully expanded and detangled. Position the head upright and start cutting at the center front of Zone 1. Put your clippers on the fully closed setting, hold them parallel to the head and cut a uniform length. At the beginning, when the hair is longer, use your free hand as support and as a length guide at the front hairline. Work toward the apex using smooth strokes with the clippers. Pause for a second and reconfirm the lengths with your client. Then pick the hair again and use the clippers to define the top and front shape. Alternate picking and cutting until the shape is even and rounded. Stand to the side of your work so you can get a good look at the silhouette you're creating. Use very light pressure with the clippers so you don't create tension that would give you divots in the round shape. This first section will serve as your length guide for the entire haircut. Continue cutting Zone 1 from the crown toward the occipital. Keep taking a step back or looking in the mirror to check the rounded shape and to see if you missed any lengths or if the hair has expanded unevenly. Cut with the clippers, gradually carving out your rounded shape. Be careful not to cut the hair too close to the head near the occipital area. Continue to alternate picking the hair to expand the texture and cutting to stay accurate. When you get to the nape, zone 2, tilt the head forward a little. Cut upward with the clippers, blending from the perimeter hairline up to the length that you just cut. Keep alternating cutting and picking out the hair. Keep cutting upward as you blend into zone 1. As you go, stand back or use the mirror to check the accuracy of the shape. Now let's move on to zone 3. Start at the upper crest. Hold the clipper blade vertical and glide it smoothly across the surface of the hair. Cut parallel to the head using the cut lengths from the top as your guide. Pick the hair out as you alternate, cutting toward the bottom of the zone. As you work through zone 3, check the rounded shape for accuracy. Look at it from various angles. As you work along the crest, continue to adjust your body position so you can assess the shape as you create it. Keep going toward the bottom of the zone. As you complete this section, be sure to blend to the center zone thoroughly. When you're near the bottom, hold the clippers vertically and cut upward, blending into zone 2 in the nape. Before moving to the opposite side, use the edge of your clippers to refine the hairline around the face. Let's go to zone 4 on the opposite side. Pick the hair again, start at the top of the zone and cut from the back to the front hairline. Use the length in zones 1 and 2 as your length guide. Work through the side, blending to the back. Remember to repick the hair and step back to check the rounded shape as you finish the zone. Hold your clippers vertically and cut upward as you perfect the rounded shape. Okay, to refine the form, first, repick all the hair thoroughly. Glide your shears over the surface of the hair to cut any ends that are sticking out following the original zone pattern. Outline the nape perimeter to create a clean line and enhance your rounded shape. Now to finish. You might want to spray the shape with a light working hairspray. Check the shape at eye level using a mirror. Clean and refine any uneven parts if needed. Move all around the head, checking for that perfect style. And there you are. The finish.
Okay. So that was Chris Foster. The barbering program in lab was created by a range of educators from across the globe. So America, Australia, Europe, and of course the UK. If you're not familiar with lab, all of our videos are supported with a performance guide. Nicola, can you just nod if you can see a performance guide on the screen?
Yeah, we can.
So whether it's hairdressing or barbering programs, all of our videos come with an image and text step by step that your learners can follow while they're initially practicing. This is a PDF, so they can view it on a tablet or a phone, and bring it up on your computers, or you can print it. I'll go back. I'm going to go back into my notepad. And if I've got, am I okay for a few minutes just to show?
Yeah, you're okay for another couple of minutes, Janet.
Thank you. So I'm just going to take you now into the theory lesson and just show you a couple of the resources. So following feedback from educators, we have continued to build on our learning connections. Again, if you're not familiar, learning connections are interactive activities that self-mark in the platform, so you can see your learners' results and they can complete activities. This one's actually on a presentation screen, so questions where the learner can simply click through and answer questions. Just do a couple more different ones. So this is actually physical questions. And then at the end, you and they can see, I only answered 3, but I did get them all right, thankfully. You can see their results. So we continue following your feedback or feedback from educators to build more learning connections. All of our lessons, our theory lessons, have slide presentations and just a quick little show of what you can see. Can you see a PDF version? Yeah. So this is the PDF version of a slide presentation. You have it as a PowerPoint, so you can present, but this gives an indication of the content in the slide presentation. So I'll move quickly through. So the information it provides, the visual images, the educator notes. So talking about the different curl patterns, introducing that information and the characteristics of those different curl patterns. The mannequin that you saw being used in the video by Chris Foster was our Cameron mannequin. And again, we have a whole family of them, but just so that you know, they are not chemically curled. The hair is not permed. It is steam curled, which means that if you need to be practicing perming or relaxing, you can do so on those mannequins. Thank you. Is that any?
Thanks, Janet.
Stop sharing my screen.
So that's it. I'll come back to view from everybody. Thank you, Janet. I think I really wanted just to highlight the amount of information and learning tools that were in there, particularly across that. It was almost quite hypnotic watching Chris Foster cut that hairstyle there. And I think that we are seeing more and more now, because of the National Occupational Standards and all of the qualifications now having textured hair across all the ranges mandated into knowledge. It's really important that, you know, we have the tools and resources to support the colleges and providers with this. And I think it is an amazing tool that you have there. We have a slide, a PDF, sorry, that we will share afterwards with everybody on your presentation there, and some information as to how they can get their hands on some of these tools, and also reach out to you if they want to know more about Pivot Point Lab as well. So moving on, we have got a couple of slides to go through now. I just want to give you some updates. Normally at this time we talk about the Collective Live tour, but we have just finished for the season. We finished in sunny Wales with my Welsh wonder Nikki here. We had a fantastic final Collective Live of this season. We will be back in the next academic year, and we will be working away on plans for that for over the summer, so you will be the first to hear about what's happening next on the tour. But I just wanted to draw your attention to some of the wider, because we have people from all across the UK and the nations on these on these online events. I wanted to just showcase some of the things that we have got coming up. Now, not all of these are hairdressing, but these are to share the love across all of your peers. So we do have, for all our Scottish centres, we have the fantastic glitter bells, which, not being a nail aficionado, I'm hiding my chipped gels as we speak, but having now been introduced to glitter bells, I know that they are the leaders in the nail world, and they are doing a fantastic event for us in Scotland. This is open to both students and to teachers and to employers as well. So there's a Glitter Bells event happening on the 5th of June in Glasgow, City of Glasgow College. For our Northern Ireland market, we are running a focus group. We've been running these focus groups for a little while now online across hair, barbering, beauty, and 14 to 16 as well. And these planning sessions and curriculum groups where we're kind of delving deeper into what offers we have in our programs as well. And I think I mentioned over the last couple of months, we have expanded the collectives, the online. So our hair and barbering was the trailblazer, but then soon beauty caught on, and we're joined with Nikki today. And the beauty collective has been running for about 3 or 4 months now. Similar format to this, guest speakers every month, a must have. So if you have beauty colleagues that you can share this to, that would be amazing, so that they can also join the collectives as well. And then finally, the next event that we have coming up in this academic year is the 14 to 16 curriculum planning. So that is really useful to wherever you are in the UK, including the nations. If you have a 14 to 16-year-old provision and you are looking for some ideas as to what types of programs that you can run, because there are so many different options now, not only the vocational aspect, but also personal and social development, well-being, sustainability, mental health. The options are endless. So that's a great one to drop into. Apart from the collective, the other focus groups, they are not recorded, I don't believe. So you do have to attend those ones, because they're very much more, rather than us talking lots at you, they're very much kind of workshopy type format. All of the events that we have are on the VTCT website under Media Centre /events. Also, my friends over in L'Oreal wanted to share with you all a watch party that they are doing. So Vicky, if you are familiar with her, the college lead over at L'Oreal, she does huge amount of events, particularly online, that are open to colleges, L'Oreal or non-L'Oreal, it doesn't matter. And this one is all about the career opportunities. So the link is on there. I will share it afterwards. It could be something that you could be doing for your groups, and getting all the latest insight from L'Oreal. And finally, all it takes for me to say is I will see you all back here again on the 20th of May. Now, if you have booked these in advance, I know some of you do book them in advance, we have shifted the date of this one. So you may have originally got the 23rd, but it clashed with an internal VTCT skills event that we are having. So we've moved this one to the 20th of May. There will only be 2 online collectives for the rest of the academic year, because we are moving into summer break for the nations in June, and then into England for July. So June will be our last one. It's been a packed agenda today, as always. Massive, massive thank you to Kerry Galliano and Ergo Styling Tools for the fabulous demonstration and for supporting the collective. And all of that information will be sent out to you afterwards, including the fabulous VTCT skills offer. And then we have just heard from the fabulous Janet Coates at Pivot Point Lab, all things textured hair. And Janet has also created a follow-up PDF, which you will all receive with all the contact details on it and all the information that you will need. I just want to say thank you all for joining. If you are watching this on the recording, thank you for registering and watching us on recording. Your support to this community means the world to us. So yeah, thank you, and enjoy the rest of your day, everybody. Thank you, everybody. I am going to stop the recording.